Hi, I'm Reid, editor of the EdisonReport, and I'm here in Frankfurt at Light & Building with Adam Lilien, the Global Business Manager of UL Solutions for Lighting.
That's correct.
Okay, Adam, welcome.
Thank you.
Now, we were speaking a little bit earlier. You've got some news that the lighting design community is going to love. Please tell us a little bit about that.
Well, a few years ago, we thought we were educating the lighting community, and we came out with our education for UL Design Guideline 24480.
Yes, I'm familiar with that.
And we thought we were done.
Okay.
And the lighting community told us we're not done. They said, you haven't made it easy yet. And we think that this is the tools that are required by lighting designers are missing. And the lighting manufacturers are also frustrated because human-centric lighting or circadian lighting has not served their needs. It hasn't made them any more sales, and the whole industry is waiting. So in that lack of tools, we decided to build the tools. And so we're here today to announce that.
Okay. So you have a website that lighting designers can go to, if I'm correct, and they can find circadian-friendly luminaires. Is that the right term?
Yeah. Right now, the world of circadian lighting is all confused.
Yes.
Because there are multiple calculation methods. What we found when we studied the calculation methods is that they're all very similar. They're just slightly different in their approach. So what we decided to do was we built a laboratory where a manufacturer can send us their single luminaire, and we'll test it. We'll measure the photons that are entering the eye, which captures the spectral power distribution and the lux level. And then we'll use the calculation method of the 3 different published methods.
Okay.
And we'll list all 3 of them on the website, so the lighting designer can come to our website, can pick, for example, a desk lamp, or a wall wash, or a troffer, or a pendant, even a chandelier. And they can then say, okay, now that I see that the whole site is just showing me the chandeliers, I want one that's going to be designed for the well building standard. And they click on well building standard, and the whole site resorts.
Wow.
And it lets them see what's the highest scoring circadian light for that particular product category.
That's incredible. So you are really making their job easier because they all want to do it. It's just very difficult to do.
It's almost impossible because lighting to send a signal to the brain that it's a bright day is a non-visual response, and lighting designers are only used to dealing with what's visual. So we had to make it easy for lighting designers to understand what is non-visual lighting, and we did that by creating a score, and one desktop lamp is comparable to another desktop lamp. It's always measured at the exact same spot relative to our spectrometer.
Okay. So that's for a desktop lamp. And then you also mentioned the chandelier. How about architectural lighting, downlights, for instance?
Exactly. Downlights are always installed in the exact same place. So they're always X number of feet in front of the user, X number of feet above the user. And so we're measuring on a similar scale from the standard observer's perspective where that light is entering the eye. So one downlight, for example, I would expect that a downlight that has a 20-degree projection will score less than a downlight that has a 40-degree projection. But what we're doing is we're capturing the light that's bouncing off the ceiling, off the wall, and off the floor, and off the desktop. And if you were to ask me the next question, which might be, how did we design the space?
Adam, how did you design the space?
Excellent question, Randy. We designed it so that the ceiling is an 80% reflective ceiling, the wall is 50% reflective, the floor is 20% reflective, and the desktop is 50% reflective. And if that sounds familiar at all, it's because that's what a lighting designer starts with in their CAD program. So we built a room. We built a room on a virtual basis, but we built it in the real world, and we're able to install a fixture, one fixture at a time, one luminaire at a time, and we capture all the photons that are entering the eye, that are bouncing off of the wall, off the ceiling, off the floor, off the desktop, and so we're giving every fixture category a similar situation to measure. And so what the lighting designer is seeing what the contribution is to healthy lighting per luminaire. And it's not that they're going to use that luminaire's score to get to their goal. Let's say if they're designing for the well building standard, it's 240 EML.
Okay.
Or if they're designing for the German DIN technical specification 67600, it's not that they're going to use the score to get to 250 melanopic EDI. And it's not that they're going to use the score to figure out how to get to a CS of 0.3. But a luminaire that scores twice as high as the competing luminaire is going to be much more effective. And if they start with that luminaire and they bring it into their CAD program, they know that they're making the right decision already.
Okay, so it's not to reach a certain score with one of the metrics, it's for comparison purposes.
Exactly.
So they can know which fixture to use. Okay, so you are walking around the show, and I saw you earlier today, you're talking to the exhibitors, the manufacturers, and you're pitching them on this.
We're actually now giving quotes on the spot.
On the spot, on the floor.
On the floor.
That's amazing. I mean, that is, you know, when I think of UL, I think of a big organization, respectfully. You know, this is UL Solutions. I think of a bit of a bureaucracy.
I didn't say it didn't take us 2 years to figure this out.
Okay. But you have figured it out, and you're giving quotes on the spot. So I want to just ask you, how is it being received?
Initially, people are confused until they hear the answers to their questions. If their question is, well, how are you dealing with the confusing calculation methods, if they're that knowledgeable, we tell them that we report in all three calculation methods.
Problem solved.
And all of a sudden they realize, well, that's brilliant. Then they see the website, and they say, oh, you're resorting based on what the designer is looking for. If you're designing in Europe, you're probably going for DIN spec 67600, and you're wanting to know the score for melanopic equivalent daylight illuminance. If you're designing in China for the well building standard, you probably want to know the EML. Well, we're reporting that as well on the same web page, and it's one web page. So we're using UL Product IQ, which already has hundreds of thousands of products in it, and it's used every day for parametric searches. We've just taken that website and pointed it towards a new community, the lighting design community, and they can do a parametric search on the left-hand side, so they can select, if they want to, they can say, I'm looking for a light that is 2300 Kelvin temperature because I'm designing in Scandinavia, and that's the most that they'll let me use.
Okay.
We'll resort all of the 2300 scores so that they see just what they're looking for.
Wow. I think you're very smart to be agnostic as far as the metrics go, and don't get involved in that fight, and let people use whichever one they want.
Exactly. We found out that's what people demanded. They didn't want us to weigh towards one or the other, and since we're an independent third-party testing and measurement company, we decided to report all three.
Okay, so the website is up and working today, and any lighting designer can get on it, or do they need to have an account with you?
We anticipated that it would be ready for today, but we're actually 2 weeks behind. So right now we're capturing luminaire manufacturers that want to get launched in the first iteration, which will be just a few weeks from now.
Okay.
And what we're doing is we're going to IALD, we're going to AIA, we're going to all of the places where lighting designers and architects sit, and we're doing education for them so they understand that the website is just for them.
Okay, will they need a user ID and password to log in?
Not to initially log in. What we'll do is the site is it's a free to fee-based. So for a lighting designer to access the site and to search for and find all their fixtures, it's free.
Okay.
If they want to use the save function and save their work, then they're charged a subscription. It starts at like $29.95 a month for one license, but it goes down if you pay in advance or if you have multiple licenses for.
So let me just understand it, because I think that is also very, very smart. It's free to everybody.
Correct.
So if you're on a tight budget, you can use it for free. But if you do want to save you work and become more efficient and not have to go back, then you pay a small fee, $30. That's a couple of cups of coffee in a month.
That's right. And so a lighting design firm might actually have one license and just have everyone name their projects differently. So if I may, you're explaining the cost to the lighting designers. Let's speak about the cost to the luminaire manufacturers. What does it cost per fixture, or how does that work? The way we do it is we do it per luminaire, and we assume that the user is only giving us one fixture at a time.
Okay.
This is not large volume
Right.
testing.
Right.
And what we do is we charge $1,000 for one CCT,
Okay.
and that will deliver a letter report to the manufacturer. If they want to test, for example, a white tunable, they might want 5 CCTs. We charge the $1,000 plus $500 extra per CCT.
Okay.
So for a white tunable, if the manufacturer wants to test, for example, 3 CCTs, for example, if it's 2,700 Kelvin through 5,000 Kelvin, they'll only need 3 CCTs. If they want to do, if they want to do 2,700 Kelvin through 6,500 Kelvin, and now you're seeing some luminaire manufacturers are doing 10,000 Kelvin temperature
For
lights.
what application, if you don't mind me asking?
They're doing it. They're doing it because they think it's smart and they know that it solves a circadian lighting problem, but they're not quite certain how that's going to work in the field. What we're able to do is we're able to give them a circadian score for 10,000, and if you're familiar with outdoor lighting, it starts in the morning at about 5,200 Kelvin and it goes to 17,000 Kelvin and above. Yeah. So if you're designing, for example, for a sports facility, okay, and you're promising that the sports team will perform better on Thursday night in Barcelona, and then Friday night in Sweden, that company is supplying recipes, and they might say, hey, if you're getting off the plane, you might need 10,000 Kelvin temperature for 30 minutes in order to get your circadian rhythm so you're performing better. And this is what this is all about. It's about health. Right. So, and it's not that lighting equals health directly. It's that lighting equals a good night's sleep. Right. And a good night's sleep influences health. And what we found out is that because you and I have if you take a mass of people, we have an average of 24.2 hour circadian rhythm.
You and I have discussed this before, and I just still find that just baffling. Right?
It's amazing that we have a 24.2 hour, but the Earth rotates every 24.0 hours.
Right.
So there's about a 12-minute lag unless you're getting a bright signal. Right. So if you were a landscaper working outdoors, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. But 90+% of people have moved indoors, and we've lowered the lighting levels too far. Before the 1970s, the IES was recommending 1,000 lumens. Now we're recommending 350 lumens in North America, but if you're in Israel, they're designing to 750, and they're much closer to a healthier environment. That's their full time. So if you're in North America and you're doing 350 lumens, the way to trick the system is from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. you turn the lights up brighter. Right. And if you have a white tunable, you go more towards the blue spectrum. If you're a fixed CCT, we're also giving you a score, so you can solve the problem with a fixed CCT. You might need more lumens than if you have a white tunable.
A little bit more.
But depending on your budget, we'll solve that problem. We'll help you solve that problem no matter what you're doing.
Okay. This sounds incredible. What do you call this project? Is there a name for it?
We're calling the website the Circadian Product IQ website, and it's because we already have Product IQ, which we deliver to architects, and we deliver to the plastics industry, and we have hundreds of thousands of products. And I can't even tell you how many millions of people, millions of hits a day it gets. So we're just using a system for a new audience for lighting designers.
Okay. Well, Adam, congratulations. It sounds like a perfect program.
Thank you.